everyone, and welcome back to another video. And so today's video, I thought it'd be fun to show you what is on my Kindle Unlimited TBR, and I thought maybe these could also give you some book recommendations. I obviously haven't read them because it's on my TBR, but I thought it might do a bit of both. So let's just get into the video. So the first one we have, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this. Yeah, we have this one by Kerry Lake, and I am really excited to start this one. There was something on TikTok that I saw, like a quote, and it made me really want to read it. I can't exactly remember what it was about anymore, but I can safely say that the cover drawed me in as soon as I saw it as well. I've just read the synopsis and it's given off like teacher student kind of. Her mother has like got ill, she's trying to like figure something out about it, and then she's also got accepted to this university. She obviously goes to university. Her professor doesn't like first years. Obviously she's a first year, but he treats her differently and looks at her differently, and obviously she's kind of like attracted to him. So it says a standalone dark academia gothic romance. So it sounds interesting, sounds up my alley, because a gothic dark romance is just my thing, and I am very excited to read this. I'm hoping to read all of these soon, by the way. Then we have How Does It Feel? I believe this is actually more of a fantasy. I could be wrong, but I've been hearing it go around a little bit more recently and it intrigued me, and I believe it is quite like a short read as well. It is 340 pages and I can read that quite quickly. A forbidden obsession, unyielding family, 3 deadly challenges, the human. Yeah, so this is kind of giving fantasy. I don't know if there's any kind of like romance in it. I'm going to guess maybe there's a little bit of it, but either way I'm still excited, and like I said, it'll be a nice quick read, and I have heard amazing things about it, so I do have high hopes for this book. Okay, and then we have Papers Don't Lie by Maeve Hazel. I believe I got an arc from Maeve Hazel, and I have to read this one before I can read the arc that I got, which I didn't realize at the time. This is why it's in my Kindle Unlimited. It did also sound really interesting to me, like another romance book, which is obviously my genre. It's up my alley. Don't know too much about it. I remember reading the synopsis, but I just can't remember much about it. For me, once I read a synopsis, if I don't read it like straight away, obviously I do tend to forget what the synopsis is. Bold and ambitious as Esmeralda Hamilton was born to be married, both theologically and practically. When the day of her planned wedding arrived, she defied her destiny and ultimately the man who was waiting for her had it all by running away right into someone else's arms, or rather the hood of someone else's car. Okay. With his dark and gloomy demeanour, Kai Graves becomes a catalyst and rescues her from the unforgiving claws of her fate. Kai saves her life once, but now she finds herself at a crossroads, forced to choose between the man who gave her desired freedom and herself. Controlled and devoted, the billionaire CEO Kai Graves navigated through life with unwavering authority and thoughtfully crafted decisions. That changes on the night of the accident, when his decisions are no longer driven by rationality and instead of the sudden presence of a certain 18-year-old girl. Kai never planned to marry despite his father's constant pleadings. He's 26 and he has a great life, but when marriage becomes a solution to one of his problems, he has to make a choice. Marry Esmeralda Hamilton. And the tropes, oh, it says the tropes, so tropes: dual POV, marriage convenience, dislike to like, touch her and die, billionaire, one bed trope, forced proximity, no third act breakup, which is amazing, age gap, and inexperienced girl, experienced man. All the tropes that I like. I'm very excited for that one. I kind of forgot it was an age gap, to be honest, but I mean, I'm excited for it, and again, this is another one I'm hoping to read soon. And then I also have Play Along by Liz Tomford. Now this is the book I'm so excited for. This is the 4th book in the series and I'm so excited for it. I don't know what I'm waiting for, to be honest. I mean, I have so many books I need to read for videos, and I'm also like pre-filming like today and currently, so I just haven't had a chance to read it, but I really want to get to this book, and I'm hoping maybe I can do some kind of video where I can read this, because I really want to read it so bad. I did kind of think of a video idea, so I might just end up that, to be honest. And yeah, but I'm so excited for this book. I don't know too much into it. All I know is it's the guys from Brought Up's brother, I think, if I remember correctly, and like they play the same sports. That is literally all I know about this book, and to be honest, I kind of want to go into it a bit blindly. I have high hopes for this book because the first book was like a 4 stars or 4.5 stars. It was like, it was okay. It wasn't like a favourite. The Right Move was a 5 star, and The Caught Up was a 4.75 stars. Like, right, The Right Move and Caught Up is like one of my 2 favourite books. I have high hopes for this and I'm really hoping Play Along be just as good. And then we have Broken. I don't know how to say this. I don't know anything about this. I believe it was recommended to me. Was that on one of my lives, or it was recommended to me somewhere, and I want to kind of go into this one blind, but I am very excited. If I remember correctly as well, it was kind of like a short book, one that I think I could get through quite quickly as well, so I am very excited to get into this one. I don't know when I'm going to get into this one, but hopefully it'll be soon, as it is in Kindle Unlimited. And then we have My Darling Arrow by Saffron A. Kent. Now this one was on my TBR for a while, like it's been on my TBR for a few years now, but I completely forgot about it. Like, it wasn't one that was on my radar, and then one day I was looking for books that was sister's ex-boyfriend or something like that. I don't know why, I just kind of wanted a trope. I never actually ended up reading the book or anything to do with that trope. By the time I was just looking, I think it's because I read this series here, Something in the Way, and that was a sister's ex. Anyway, so I was looking for something similar to that, and this one popped up, and I was like, oh, this has been on my TBR for a while, so why not make it more of a priority now? And I saw it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I added it to my Kindle, and I'm very excited to read this. I do think that this is on the thicker side of books, but that doesn't really matter to me. Okay, then we have A Favour for a Favour by Helena Hunting. Now this one I'm very excited for. I read the first book, I want to say 2 years ago now. It was a book I received for my birthday. I read it the same day or the next day in one sitting, because these books are really short and there's 4 books in the series, and I just never continued. There's no reason for it. I did really enjoy the first book, but I'm hoping to continue the series now as they are short, and I would like to, I'm not behind on my Goodreads goal. Like, I'm actually, I think, 15 books ahead, but I would like to get further up, because normally I'm like 30 ahead, and I know that sounds like really, say, narcissistic. I know that sounds like very thinking, yeah, but you're still 15 books ahead. I get that, but I don't know why it just bothers me when I'm not like, I don't have to be 30, but if I'm not like at least 20 ahead, because that's what I've been ahead of for most of the year, and it has dropped a little bit, so I would like to get it a little bit higher. That's just a personal preference. Again, reading goals doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you read. It's just how much, like, I prefer to be ahead. Anyway, then we have Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This is the second book in the series. I can't remember. Lakefront Billionaires, I think the series is called. I have the first book there. The first book was an average read for me. Sorry if you can hear the noise. Yeah, the first book was an average read for me, but like, I didn't hate it, but it also like wasn't my favourite Lauren Asher book ever. I did end up reading it in one sitting, if I remember correctly, but I have heard better things about this one, Love Unwritten, and I believe there's a single dad trope in there, and that is like right on my alley. I absolutely love single dad tropes, so I'm excited for this one. Then we have Scarred by Emily McIntyre. This is the second book in the series. Now I do have the physical copies, but I added it to my Kindle Unlimited because I plan on reading it on my Kindle. But I am very excited to read these, but I have heard that these are better for 24-hour readathons. I read the first book in a 24-hour readathon, so I do kind of want to keep these books for 24-hour readathons, but I don't know, we'll see. I might just one day fancy a quick read and just decide to listen to like the audiobook or something, because I've been doing diamond painting recently and I have been listening to audiobooks more recently, so I feel like maybe if I just want a quick audiobook listen, then maybe I would pick up the Scarred up. We'll see. Then we have A Major Puck Up. Now this book I saw on TikTok and I saw like a quote on it, and I didn't realise it was the third book or fourth book in the series. I do have to read the second and third, or just the second, I'm not sure, depending on what place it's because I can't remember anymore. I did read like the little novella thing and I did really enjoy that, so I do feel like I am going to really enjoy this series, but I'm excited to get to this book. I obviously added it to my Kindle Unlimited not knowing that it was a series at the time. I just added it, but I would like to continue with the series anyway in order. I don't know when that would happen, but I would love to read this. I think it's like a sports romance. I think there was an age gap in it, I'm not too sure, or some kind of like forbidden love. I can't remember too much about it anymore, but I am still excited. And then I have Promises and Pomegranates. This has been at my TBR for a while as well, and I thought, why not? It seems like a quick read, and I was kind of in like, I don't want to really say dark romance. I'm not sure if this is a dark romance, but I was reading Hooked, and this is when I added this book on my Kindle Unlimited, so I'm very excited for this. I do believe it's also going to be a quick read as well, so I do have high hopes for this. And then we have Little Stranger by Lee Rivers. This is also another short book and one that I feel like I could fly through. I haven't really heard too much about this, if I'm being completely honest. I can't remember where I saw it either. I think I was looking for audiobooks and I saw it, and then I saw that it was on Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, why not? Whether I listen to it on audio or read it on Kindle Unlimited, I'm not sure yet, obviously, but I don't know, we'll see. Then we have fourth book and the fifth book in the Dalton family series. So we have The Intern and we have The Bachelor, and I would love to finish the series. The series isn't like top favorite. I really don't like how the books start with like a one night stand or whatever. I find that they've all started like that. I also don't like how the men talk about the women from like the get-go, like right from the beginning. Yeah, it does get better, but I don't know, I just have an issue with the start of these books, but they do get better throughout, so that's why I'm like continuing the series. Plus they're quick reads, like I can read them in one sitting with no sugar at all. So I would like to continue the series, as I do only have 2 books left anyway. Then we have Thrall King by Rena Ken. I would love to go through all of Rena Ken's books. I've never read one before, but I've been wanting to read like the, what was it called, God of, oh, I can't remember, the last series, God of Wrath, God of, all those books. I've been wanting to read those books, but someone recommended to me that it's better to read them in order because it kind of goes in like generation, like blood generation or something like that. I'm not too sure. So I would love to read the books in the recommended order, and the person that recommended it to me did actually send me like a guide, which I'm very thankful for. So I am hoping to read it in that order. Anyway, this is the first book that recommended for me to read, and so I'm hoping to start this soon, and I'm hoping to fly through them so I can actually get to the series I would like to start. Then we have The Confidence of Wildflowers, and this has been on my TBR for so long, and the amount of times I've put this on my Kindle Unlimited and then took it off and then put it back on and then took it off, because I love the sound of it. Like, its age gap, there was some other tropes that I seem to remember hearing about, but the only thing is I've heard people say that this series destroys them, and there is a second book, and I'm like, is it going to make me sad? What can happen within this book, kind of thing? And I'm like, am I actually ready for that? I don't know. So that is my problem with this, and why I haven't exactly read it yet, and why I'm kind of like putting it off, but I am hoping to get to it soon because it won't take me long to get through either. Then we have Take My Hand by Mikhail Marie. I read the first book, absolutely loved, 5 stars, and I don't normally rate like rockstar romances 5 stars. Not really like my thing either. This one was just so good. And then I recently read the arc for Starting Line, but it's obviously now out, and it's not part of the series, it's a standalone, but I absolutely love that book as well. Again, 5 stars. So I have high hopes for Take Me Down because I believe it could also be a 5 star, and I am very excited to dive on into this. I just haven't read it yet because I want the perfect time to read it. I don't want like my mood or anything to persuade my rating or anything, or my decision within this book, because it is a rockstar one. It continues from the series, so I want to be in a specific mood to read this book. I'm hoping it could be very soon though, because I am very excited to dive on into it. Then we have For the Fans by Nyla K. This one I believe I got the recommendation from Larry Reads, and it sounded so good when she was talking about it, and so I obviously added it to my Kindle Unlimited straight away, and I'm very excited to dive on into this. The only problem with this that's making me nervous is the size of the book. Like, it's actually quite a thick book. I think it's like 500 or 600 pages. I can't quite remember, but I know it's like on the thicker side. It makes me nervous for romance, just because it's like, what can be said in a romance in 500 to 600 pages? I have read 500 to 600 pages of romance that is good. I'm not saying that just because it's so long it's not going to be good. It just makes me a little bit nervous. And then finally we have Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent, and this is the first book in the other series. I'm not sure what the series is called, to be honest, but I do have other series by Carissa Broadbent, and that is The Serpent Wings the Night, the Ash, and yeah, that book. Now I'm really looking forward to the other series. I have heard some people say it's better to read Daughter of No Worlds first, then read that one, but I'm like, does it really matter? Let me know if you know, and let me know what you think would be better and what order you think it would be better that I read it in before I obviously start the other series. But I just kind of want to dive into that and then get into the series. But let me know if there's a good reason for why I should, or like why it's better to Daughter of No Worlds and that series first, or going into the Serpent Wings and Night series. So those are all the books I have on my Kindle Unlimited list. Like I said, these are kind of book recommendations as well. Obviously I haven't read them, so like I don't know know if they're good or not, but I just wanted to share with you what's on my Kindle Unlimited TBR, and hopefully I can get through them. I do have a fun video planned. I'm not sure when I'm going to film it or when it will be out, but I am hoping to do it very soon, so hopefully you'll be seeing a video from me very soon, something to do with Kindle Unlimited, and that's all I'm going to say because I would like to keep it a little bit of a surprise. But that is all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you would like to see more content from me, and I mean, if you stuck around this long, you obviously like my content, so remember to subscribe. Please leave this emoji to let me know that you was here. If you don't have anything to comment, that's fine, just leave this emoji and I know that you either stuck to the end, that you just wanted to say hi, or let me know that you was here. And yeah, so thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye.